This is Will Buchanan reporting for the Walk for Liberty. It's May 26, 2008, day 43. Brooke is walking with me again today. She said her feet feel a lot better today than they did the last time she walked 4 days ago. I've noticed quite a bit of litter along the side of the road as I've been walking along this stretch. One thing that's always struck me about laws is they don't actually prevent a particular behavior. Presumably, the theory behind laws is that the threat of punishment will deter the person from engaging in whatever type of behavior that the politicians didn't want them to engage in. However, the law itself does not prevent a particular type of behavior. It always involves that after-the-fact punishment when the action that the law was supposed to have prevented has already been done. So the question is, does that after-the-fact punishment actually prevent future occurrences of that action? For example, do laws against theft or littering or smoking marijuana actually prevent people from stealing or littering or smoking marijuana? The vast majority of people know what's right and what's wrong. Most people don't steal, but not because of the law, but because they know it's wrong. If somebody does steal, they're likely either desperate and not thinking about the law, or they just think they won't get caught. They obviously have a messed up sense of right and wrong, and the law itself is not preventing them from stealing. And to our original example of littering, I, like most people, like clean surroundings and don't want to litter. Because government roads aren't picked up very often, the litter you see is likely from a small number of people and has accumulated over time. And obviously an anti-littering law didn't prevent them from littering. People who smoke marijuana do it because they want to and because they don't see anything wrong with it. The question of whether it is or is not harmful is really irrelevant. They are deciding for themselves what to do with their own body, and they are not harming anyone else by smoking marijuana. Victimless so-called crimes like that need to be repealed completely. And what is the answer for these three cases? Restitution, private property, and eliminating victimless crime laws. In the case of theft, no specific law is needed because the person that was stolen from can show harm by the person that stole from them. Throwing the person in prison doesn't solve anything. The rest of the taxpayers are paying to keep the person in prison. They're learning better thieving skills from other inmates, which they can then use when they get out. And the person that was stolen from is not being recompensated by the thief in any way. The answer is for the thief to restitute the person they stole from, to pay them back the value of what they stole, plus an extra sum for their time and trouble. That way, only the person who was harmed is being paid back, and not the state or the public. It may or may not prevent future crime, but at least it's a more fair system. The case of littering is really just a private versus public property issue. The only reason littering laws exist is because of the fuzzy issue of public property, which is really just government property. There's no specific victim, so the only entity that the state can think of for the person to pay back is, well, the state itself. If all property were private, littering would simply be an issue of a property rights violation. The person could again restitute the owner, or might just have to pick up the litter that they threw down. In the case of a private road, the owner might decide not to allow repeat offenders onto their road again. Or the road owner might consider picking up trash part of the service they provide, and wouldn't even consider it littering by the person. Since they own the property and the business, it's up to them, and again, no law is needed. I've never heard of Walmart doing anything to a person if they throw trash on the floor in one of their stores. Although if they wanted, they're perfectly within their rights to kick them out of the store. Finally, in the case of marijuana or other victimless crimes where no one was harmed, there is no one to restitute and there was no private property violation, so all those sorts of laws should just be repealed. Apparently, Pasco is located straight down in hell. Here's my current GPS position. And I went almost 9.5 miles today. John's working on a Walk for Liberty board that we can put up in the RV. John got a bachelor's degree in fine arts and painting at the Heron School of Art in Indianapolis, but unfortunately hasn't gotten to use his skills much since then. As I may have mentioned the other day, our fan belt had broken because the air pump had seized up. The main problem is, since that belt also turns the alternator, the main battery is not being charged.
Very well.
The air pump is not a necessary component, however, so we're going to try to put a smaller belt over the rest of the pulleys.